Considering the delightfulness of our God, this thought came up that that grace was evidently in its shadow revealed in the Old Testament. We mentioned this yesterday from Hebrews 10:1, and welcome, good morning. I trust I can share this concisely enough for a morning thought. I'm sorry I have so much in my heart about this. I'm afraid I'm going to just overshoot the landing field. just go way beyond we should. But anyways, please come with me. So here is a good question. What shadow of grace in the Old Testament? New Testament believers easily ask, what shadow of grace in the Old Testament? Was grace truly visible there? And let me just read a few verses about that I've never seen these verses before in this light. So in the temple, there was loving kindness, and this is Psalm 48:9. We have thought of thy loving kindness, O God, in the midst of your temple. This is Old Testament through and through. We're talking about the temple and worship there. Chesed is the Hebrew word for loving kindness, and it's probably the closest to our understanding of grace in the New Testament. The temple, of course, it's a place of slaughter. It's a place of sacrifices. There is a sort of an appearance of payment, right? Payment for sins. It looks like that for someone who doesn't consider what is actually happening. And yet there he says, we have considered your grace. We have considered your loving kindness. Interesting because, in the Old Testament doesn't appear to be really gracious. But this is actually just bias. This is our bias easily, because we have grace revealed to us on a level heretofore unheard of. And the Old Testament saints didn't have that revelation, and yet they knew of grace. And this verse, so Psalm 48 verse 9 clearly says that. But let's go on a few more verses. 107:43. Whoso is wise and will observe these things, even they shall understand the loving kindness of the Lord. So this is the summary of that psalm, and it says, consider. Perhaps it's not evident when you look at life. Perhaps it's not evident, but loving kindness is there. But consider, whoso is wise and will observe these things, they shall understand the loving kindness of the Lord. They needed meditation, just as we need to meditate on the Word today. We need to consider life in the light of His will, in the light of His holiness, in the light of His love, and in the light of His grace. So this is why John 1:17 is so important, that by Jesus came grace and truth, because we have had so much a greater revelation than the Old Testament. So consider life and consider and meditate on life and meditate on the Word of God in His light, and you will see how incredible our God is. A lazy heart will not see Him, obviously. But if it were possible for the Old Testament saints, within their limited meditation, how much more is it possible for you and me to see it revealed to us that our God is so awesome? One final verse in the Psalms, 36:7. How excellent is your loving kindness, O God. Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of your wing. This is awesome. It very clearly says His loving kindness is the reason that people are drawn to God, are looking for His salvation. This is an awesome truth about grace. Grace draws human hearts. That's how it works today. That's how it had worked in the Old Testament. Do you want to delight in our God? Do you want to be drawn to Him? Well, then consider His Word, your life, your decisions, all of it in His light. And as you do, you will find ample reason to delight in Him and to find Him desirable. God bless your day.